So let me show you just a few sketches, very, very early ideas that have been turned into user interfaces, or sometimes not fully working user interfaces, but visualized concepts. So looking at novel hardware, one type of technology which could be put, and it has already been put into mobiles by Samsung, is pico projectors, small projectors that allows you to project your user interface, the graphics, onto larger surfaces than the screen of your mobile phone. So we thought about what would this imply? What would this mean for users? I think in order for projectors to become a good alternative to screens, you probably need to have some type of input method where you can actually interact directly with the projection. So instead of projecting on one surface, controlling it from the buttons or touchscreen of your device, you would like to put your fingers directly into the projection and interact with the projection. Of course, if you push buttons on the actual projector, it's going to make the projection very trembly and it will move around. So what you want to do is put your phone down somewhere on a table and then project and then interact directly with the projection. So let me show you of this concept, which we called it's a ProCam concept, projector camera concept. If you can project your user interface onto a surface, then you can collaborate with your friends around it. And you can even combine your projections into a synchronized user interface. So here we have two people trying to synchronize their calendars, looking for a space where they can meet. And when they overlap their calendars, they see that they have a time slot, and they book a meeting together just by using their hand gestures. This is a concept film. It's not yet implemented, but the technology to actually create these type of user interfaces is maturing. I think this will be possible to create within a few years. Another concept is this one. We started looking at, a long time ago actually, we started looking at what will it mean when mobile phones can have 3D user interfaces. So instead of the flat two-dimensional type of user interfaces that are predominant today, what does it mean when the graphic processors become so fast that you can create real 3D experiences? And we started thinking about fold-out books and books that where, when you open them, different things pop out, and how aesthetic and appealing those books were. So we created some early mock-ups from paper and cardboard, and then this was made into concept film. Let's play this film. Now this is just a video looking at what it would mean to have a fold-out book in your mobile phone. And we really like the idea of being able to glance into your folders, just open them a little bit and look inside, instead of opening a folder or closing it, such as on a desktop today. They're either open or closed. Here we wanted to explore the idea of glancing into your folders. So we created a fully working user interface. This is a film that just shows the user interface and not the finger interaction. But on our website, we have a video of this actually running on a device. This is also a year old today. But it shows the idea of having folders on your home screen. And we kept a bit of that feeling of paper and cardboard. And we added a physics engine as well to this demo. So So objects and devices move, objects and applications moved around in a more natural fashion than they would if it was a more conservative user interface. So I think you should really have a look at our website for that video if you want to see it in detail. Another concept again is the head tracking concept. So if there are cameras on mobile phones and those cameras can recognize hand gestures, they can or if they can also track people's faces. Already today this is used in camera applications where you have autofocus on people's faces, or even smile shutter, so that photos take a smile. And we thought, what can this be? What can this mean to user interfaces, to 3D user interfaces? If you can track the face, then you can actually see change the graphics on the screen depending on the viewing angle. And then you can create an illusion of looking into a really deep space, or into a box. So if you're familiar with the trompe-l'œil art, the illusion art where from a certain angle it looks like you're looking into a real space where the perspective is just right. But with head tracking you can create a continuous experience like this, because the system will always know from what angle you're looking at it, so it can render the graphics accordingly. This was turned into a concept, so let's have a look at the film. Oh, sorry, here's another slide. So this is illustrations we did to show the difference between what could happen if you tilt your device and look into different areas. You can see more information than from different angles. You'll see different types of information. I will show you the video now. So here you can see the clock on the bottom of the screen. You can't see it from a different angle, but now you can see more of the grid menu. And this type of experience can be created using accelerometers and motion sensors, but the illusion will be a lot more convincing if you use head tracking instead. So I will show you just a few more videos of concept UIs here. This is a multi-sensor user interface. This was actually created quite recently and released in February at this year's Mobile World Congress in Barcelona. This is a user interface that has got sensors all over the device. So it's got a touch device on the back of the hardware. It's got squeeze sensors on the side of the hardware, so you can squeeze and tilt the user interface. It also has slide sensors on the side of the of the hardware, so you can scroll lists by touching the side of the device. We worked a lot with 3D here and with lighting effects, so the position of the lights are actually dynamic and they change as you tilt or move your device. Here are some widgets. Here is another 3D user interface. This is actually it's a demo interface. It's not released, but it actually runs on existing hardware today, such as this Motorola Droid device. It's a social network type of list where you select a contact and then you can select a social network application that contact person has, and then you can look at their updates and status. So here we look at Eric's Flickr images, for example, or Eric's Twitter feed. we have worked closely with Texas Instruments and their new platform, which is a dual screen platform. So this demo shows what can be done when you have two touchscreens on a device. The hardware here is not really supposed to look this way when it's released as a consumer product. This is a development board, but it shows the possibilities of having content and controls at the same time on split screens, or an application and lists at the same time. Well, it even has got the possibility to show movies on one screen and the information about the movie on another screen. And I think this demo here shows how the video can also be broadcasted to a connected larger screen. So this device is actually connected to a TV, and it can show videos in full high definition.